And we are live. Hey guys, welcome to After the Read, the after show. I'm so excited to be here again with Keish from Hypo for Life, Stevie
Hey,
Derrick from Him Podcast, and then soon Juju from Fierce Media will be joining me. And what we're gonna do is first play some commercials, and then we're gonna get into the jig. So thank y'all again for coming back.
no problem.
Absolutely.
Okay, wait, where is it?
30 Sprite. I be sipping on this limelight. Don't no clock turn left, get your time right.
Hey, I'm back. Okay, let me just add Juju in, and we're gonna play another commercial.
Okay.
Juju from Fierce Media is here. Hey, doll.
Hello. Let me just
Okay, y'all.
check
Can we
my
have people that's
background, check my angles. Hold on. You know I just got out of the shower. I said,
okay?
I'm supposed to be on at 8:45. I was sitting here watching y'all.
I forgot we got a different time zone and stuff like that. But what I'm about to do is I'm about to play the next one.
Okay.
Okay, Vanity. Thank you, Daniel. What I'm about to do is play the next commercial, and then we're gonna get into everything, the recap of the show, and let's have a full open dialogue. So I'm gonna play one more, and then the intro.
Yo, big seven, nigga. Nigga, are you in it? Nigga, are you talking or you really gon' spin it? Niggas wanna see me on my tippy toes. Got a couple niggas that can cop me those. Berkeley, Chanel's, and all that. Got a couple niggas that call back.
Thank you for being a part of this moment. I greatly appreciate it, and my guests and everyone that's a part of this moment definitely appreciate you the viewer, and everything that you have contributed to become a part of this moment. Momentarily, we'll be beginning the show, and I want you to just get your PJs on, a glass of wine, get your books, have your questions ready, because we're going to have a fabulous, wonderful, warm, shifting mental show.
Come on, Sev7en Taylor production.
All right, we are back. So thank you guys so much for coming. Again, so everyone could just briefly introduce yourself. I know a lot of people already got introduced to Keish and Stevie, but go through it again and let's get into the jush.
Okay. I'm Keish. I'm the founder, CEO, and editor-in-chief of Hype Off Life. It's a Los Angeles-based publication. We highlight the underdogs of the culture and industry because they need love too. So you can check us out on Hype Off Life across all social media platforms.
Next person.
I'll go. I am Stevie Derrick, 1/4 of Him Podcast. We are an LGBT queer podcast. We've been going strong for about 4 years now. I also am the creator of Indie Artist Spotlight, in which I highlight a lot of Black queer indie artists. That goes for musical artists, photographers, designers, makeup artists, all those things. I put under one umbrella and use my platform to promote them and get their music and anything they're promoting out there. And yeah, that's me.
Yes. Hi, everybody. My name is Juju. I am the creator and executive producer of Fierce Entertainment Media Network. I'm also a writer of agitated propaganda. So all of the stuff that I do is for agitation, but I'm sure we'll get into that a little bit more. So hi, y'all.
And I am Sev7en Taylor, Universal Spiritual.
Come on, Claire.
There.
Outfit change. Oh, no, outfit change.
Okay, and I am an author. I am a musician, and whatever else I choose to be in this matrix of life. And I'm just so grateful to be here with y'all and to just be sharing space and having conversation. People that are coming in and will be coming in, please share, please like. Most importantly, we're talking about my books. We're talking about the conversations that we just had on the main show, which was very, very breathtaking and all, beautiful intimacy that we all share with each other in that hour or so. So I would say I'm going to start off with Stevie. How was your intake of the main show, and how did you feel about the conversations and everything that went down?
So I am a lover of panels. I think it's important that we have a lot of these because people have the opportunity to just open up and feel like they're in a safe space. I felt like the entire conversation, it felt like we were in a complete safe space. There was no place of judgment. Everyone was willing to learn, willing to listen, willing to feed off each other's energy. That was mentioned a lot in the conversation, that energy is really, really important. Following your own path, following your own journey. So with all of that happening, it was just like a great experience. I think that everyone definitely took something with them. Which sometimes, you go to panels and sometimes you feel like you're not going to take anything. But this panel in particular, I feel like I took a lot from it. And I feel like I gave a lot of myself as well, which was one of the main reasons I wanted to join it in the first place. When you introduced me to it, I'm like, absolutely. Any platform that you can use to use your voice or speak about a topic such as mental health, that is like a big thing that's going on right now. I thought it was really, really dope. I thought that everyone was able to touch every key point that you brought up, and definitely show you and give you your flowers for your book. So yeah, it was dope.
Oh, thank you so much. Nah, I definitely appreciate you being here, being in the space, and even, owning me up on the invite I sent your way. I feel like you were definitely someone that could add to the conversation and truly give your perspective. You have a very strong perspective online, and you stand by what you feel, and I feel like those people are very important. Standing by what you feel, standing in what you feel, all the things that we got to do in order to move forward in life, and not allow people to come in and change who we are or change how we're supposed to feel about ourselves. So I definitely was delighted to have you and Keish and now Juju, and let's get into it. So I'm gonna fly over to Juju now.
Yeah, I'm a little speechless because that was everything that I needed. It was everything that I thought I needed. And I just want to say, like, I am in these Zoom, chats, these sort of settings often when it has to do with, they're more centered around hoodoo. And I mean, what y'all just did, that was Black spirituality, but it was so much more fluid. I don't know if y'all, talked about any sort of rules or sort of what type of environment that you wanted to create, but it was so fluid and so powerful and so energetic and just very honest, in a way that even those hoodoo groups, I tell people all the time, spirituality is very basic, it's very practical, and I think what y'all just did was so magical. There was so much magic in that panel. It was great.
Well, I greatly appreciate that, and no, we didn't. Besides getting the links and the flyers and stuff, we didn't have much conversation about like, okay, you gonna talk about this, and I'm gonna talk about that. No, we just like flowed, and it was so organic. It was like as if we was out to eat or something. Like it didn't even feel like
y'all were really in sync.
I definitely, like I said, I greatly appreciate that because I personally felt like all those people together would have collectively given something for viewers to take from.
Yeah, it was a great curation. I'm like, come on, Sev7en. It was beautiful. Thank you.
Listen, I was on my Mona Scott right quick. Let me put the girls together. And then now we're going to swing it over to Keish. Keish, how did you feel? What's your questions, your conversations from both of y'all? From everyone. Let's have conversation here.
Well, I was feeling the panel overall. I liked everybody's vibe. The energy was right. Like it was really organic, like you said. Everybody had thoughtful things to say. Like how you go to some panels and like somebody's doing most of the talking, or somebody's not saying much. It wasn't like that. So everybody contributed. So I was feeling it.
Yes, I definitely can agree. I was feeling it as well, and I was happy that people were able to be so transparent with themselves. Like I feel like a lot of people probably were just saying things like that they've been wanting to say. They've been wanting to get out. They've been wanting to have some type of transformation happening. And I think the most beautiful thing that we can do as individuals. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for ordering. Thank you so much, cuz. What and I love you too. And you keep doing what you got to do as well. What I think the most important thing that we have to do in these spaces and places is that collectively together we could shake the room. You know, collectively together we can do these things, become that Black Hollywood and so on and so forth. Collectively, not individually, collectively. Like we got to start learning how to be healthy in numbers. You know, instead of being divided in numbers, where it's fighting and arguing and all this other unneeded shade, let's be collective in numbers. Like, hey, you got a business, let me get 10 books of yours. You got this, you got that. Let's support. Let's throw that money around. You know, we can't take it when we leave, so you might as well, you know, let's put it out there. Let's create that generational wealth with each other. Let's support each other businesses. Let's support each other dreams and goals. Even if you just got something that you just wrote out, let me hear it. How can I help? How can I be of input? How can I help you make that thought become reality? That's what I'm about. You know, that's the type of time I'm on. And that's the type of circle of friends that I have, is that we all collectively do our own thing. And then when it's time to bring it to reality, we're like, all right, how are we gonna do it? How are we gonna support? Okay, when is it coming out? What do I need to share? You know, those type of things. Let's start asking questions on how we can help each other rather than always sticking to the okay, girl. You know, it's too much of that. It's too much of that. It's too much of us not really doing our work with each other. And it's like, if you really want your friend to be what they desire to be, then you need to step in there. Like, come on now. Like, be your biggest cheerleader, because what you do is you influence the next person, and then the next person, and then the next person. Next thing you know, your friend got a platform. Congratulations, you did your job. You know, like that's what I'm about. So let's talk. Keisha, I know you had other questions or so, because I know you read the book. I know you both will be reading the book or got the books and stuff like that. But y'all could kind of seen from like what people are saying, what the book is about, what that particular book is about. So let's have a conversation. So let's you know, ask some questions and things and stuff like that. How do y'all? What do you, as someone that was a part of the panel, what do you feel is the principles of permission?
I'd say it's giving yourself permission to be great, to be yourself, to own your power, like to do what you want to do. Just give yourself permission to be yourself. That's how I think it.
Correct. Okay, I love that. Juju.
I wanted to touch on what you said about we have to create these spaces for ourselves, because you said like the American dream, we found out like it wasn't really for us. And that's where I am in my life. So I'm very much still in my Saturn return, still changing. I'm in the change right now. Okay. So so I'm learning just what the makeup of this world is, and just how true it is what you said about us having to create these worlds for ourselves. And so exactly what you said, you know, exactly how we've been creating, you know, I'm connecting with other people online. I hear a lot of people say that, you know, Twitter is not great, social media is not great, but I connect with so many people online who affect me so much. They affect my life like so much. Like I would not be here doing this right now if it weren't for my mutuals online. So I think it's something great. And I think that you have to be open, and you have to not be afraid to reach out to people and to ask for help and to build community with people. That's how we're shifting the mentals.
Correct.
I met so many good people online. I met a lot of people online. I like recently, like these past 5 years, I met more people online than I have in real life, like solid bonds. Because I feel like online you connect with people's minds and their spirit, not like really what they look like. So I could see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right. I could connect as well, and I feel like, yeah, we definitely do have to create those spaces, and we do have to create those spaces and places where we are around people that celebrate us in our current state. You know, no matter what we're going through, no matter what the transformation is, and I feel like a lot of people out here just want to be heard. They just want to be seen. They just want to be felt for once in their life, without it always being a beat up. Like you know, like some people, you want to tell them about something, but you feel like, damn, they're gonna chew me up. You know, and it's okay. It's okay to have constructive criticism in your life, but when you feel like you can't even share the most simplest things with someone, it's time for them to go. You know, because every time I talk to you or have a conversation with you, it's always of a negative demeanor, or it's always of a "girl, I told you so." Well, sometimes we have to reflect in order to understand what the reflection is. You know, sometimes we have to go through that cycle of things, and in order to really preserve the knowledge that we need in order to get to the next level. You know, you don't just become Sev7en Taylor overnight. You know, you gotta build this bitch. You know, you gotta understand it. You gotta maneuver through the channels. You gotta understand what your purpose is. What are you saying? Who's talking? Who are you talking to? And the questions go on and on and on. So I do feel strongly that when we are erasing that ancestral thing, as far as like the lackey ones, the ancestors that wasn't doing shit, just sitting around, but they in our DNA. what we doing with those particular individuals, we are realizing that we can't activate those cells, because right about now, sis, I can't sit on my ass. I gotta make moves. You know.
You have to elevate those ancestors. You have to do the thing. You have to recognize the things that you saw in them, and recognize the things that you saw what they wanted to do, and be that in the world. Because then you allow them to live through you. That's how you elevate them. So you can get that out of so your kids cannot feel that no more. So their kids cannot feel that no more. You got to do something with it.
Right, yeah, you definitely got to elevate them. Azari, how did you feel about? I love everything that you're saying, Juju. I love the way you think, but I love the way all y'all think. That's why I invited y'all asses here. Azari, how did you feel about the main show, and what was your takeaways, and any questions or so you may have for me or the panel?
I think my main takeaway was just that, like, I feel like for the most part, you know, people assume that we're all, you know, traversing down these journeys while individualistic. You know, they're so separate from everything else, and they're really not. You know, we saw during the main show, like, you know, everyone's kind of going through the same things, and it's like, oh my God, you know, like Seven's reading my life right now. It's like, no, it's like, you know, you're not the only person that's going through what you're going through right now. But I think that's a huge part, an issue with the Black community, that like we do not talk to each other about the shit that we're going through. We try to tough it out. We try to do the hustle all by ourselves. And I'm just learning with music, with life, with everything. Like, you can't do it by yourself. And even, you know, our parents would be like, when I was your age, I had this and I had that. I was like, when you was my age, okay, $15 was actually $15. Now $15 is more like $2, and you can't really do nothing with your $2. I'm so sorry. I can't. Like, and it's the real tea is that, like, you know, like I was saying during the first stream, it's just like it. You know, people assume and think that because I'm always smiling and I'm giddy, ha, kiki, ain't nothing going on. I'm like, if only y'all knew the amount of, you know, unlearning, relearning, you know, mental work that I have to do in the last year. Like, the reality of it is, even just with making music, there's so much, like, even trauma behind that. Like, people don't know that I had almost $5,000 worth of, like, studio time and all of that, like, just robbed of me. I had a whole project recorded and poof, disappeared. But at the time, my management didn't know no better. They were new. I didn't know no better because I was new. So, you know, but that type of shit sticks with you. And so you literally have to sit down and say to yourself, okay, you got robbed. So what now? Like I'm saying, okay, like now that you're here, you know, now that you on this train, baby, what you gonna do now? What are you going
Don't
to
get robbed again.
You have to kind of sit down and look at what the situations are as they're coming in, and kind of deal with them, you know, one-on-one, and not, you know, kind of smush them all together and be like, okay, you know, my housing situation is this, and my music situation is this, and right now I'm not feeling super creative, my relationship is this, and it's all one big thing. No, like Sev7en said, like, these are all challenges, and each of the challenges, just like when Alex was in that Wonderland, the answer is already there. You just got to go down the rabbit hole, you know?
And figure out who the rabbit is.
Okay? Sometimes it's not Peter. Peter's not that rabbit, okay? That's all I'm going to say. It's not Peter. Peter's not always going to be the rabbit. So you really do kind of just have to sit down and do the work. But I think, like, my takeaway was just that, like, you know, you're not alone. And the things that you are going through are not things that have never been gone through before. There are people that resonate with parts of your story because we're humans. And that's the kind of the foundation of our existence and experience is connection. You know, we're not on this planet by accident. We're not on this planet alone, because if we were, then it would just be one of us on this live right now talking to ourselves. So, you know, it takes us to make us. And I just kind of feel like at this point, you know, whether it be, you know, individualistic journeys or, you know, maybe paths that you cross with others, I think we're at the point now where we just have to start doing the work to work with others, but also work with ourselves, and not in ourselves, but work with ourselves. One more time, not in ourselves, but with ourselves. And I'm gonna go ahead and set it.
Right. No, I totally agree with that, because that's where your shadow work starts with, is going inside and going in that place that you don't want to go to, going in that, hypothetically going into that space of rape, going into that place of trauma, going to that place of abandonment, going to that place of wherever it is that you really feel like, I don't want to be there. Go there. Understand why it's prevalent still, and take what you need to take from it. And what you need, and when you do take that transaction from it, it no longer governs your life. You know, it no longer make you feel like you're inadequate to be something or do something or have a relationship or have sex or have a healthy relationship with your parents, friends, etc. Like, we gotta learn how to this like shit strip us down.
I'm sorry, y'all. Just in case y'all don't know, I have 2 kittens. So if y'all hear a pitter patter in the background,
that's the flash warning thing just popped up on my news.
Oh,
they probably didn't to everybody.
Yours just happened to be up. I have 3. They all sleep. Thank God. So,
child chicken.
You have to see your inner self at times to see the light. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
right.
You do, and because sometimes that little light could be a little dim, but it's still working. Sometimes we realize that when we don't tend to that light, it can go out.
Yeah.
Your passions can leave you. You can become depressed. You can become those things that you feared the most. So when you do feel that light flickering, and you do feel like, oh, bitch, did I pay my inner bill? You know, like, why my shit about
inner
to
bill.
go? You gotta realize in that inner, and how you pay that inner bill is the shadow work, the self work, building that self, learning that self, knowing that self. You are an evolving individual every day, so of course you're gonna have new patterns, new sets, new things you like. Some days you like potato salad, other days you like macaroni salad. Like, you're gonna have those days. It happens. I like both. But I just realized that in order for me to be as transparent as I choose to be, and I am, I had to first learn and love those other sides of me that I didn't like. You know, if I didn't like myself at a certain weight, or if I didn't like myself at a certain angle, whatever the situation is, all right, bitch, get your ass in the gym. You know, if I needed to work on my writing and stuff like that, write every day. If I needed to perfect my flows and rap skills and stuff like that, write and rap every day. Build it, work it, manage it. Do what you got to do. But don't allow it to cripple you. Be Superman, but don't be your own kryptonite at the same time.
Oh,
Come on.
oh, hallelujah. Okay, yes.
Y'all
So
felt that.
I have a question to ask everyone on a panel. When we do get to a place of owning things, do you feel that it's important to be connected to those traumatic spaces, like far as those people, those individuals, or do you feel like it's important to just remove yourself so you can go along in your life the way that you're supposed to? Like, how do you feel about that when you get to that owning it, that owning it part of your life?
Well,
Anyone can go first.
I'll go. For me,
Go ahead.
like what's worked for me in my past is, well, now too. Well, if the person doesn't want to change, like whatever is going on, I don't have a problem with cutting them off because it's not going to
Right.
ever change or get any better. So I'll walk away. Like, I don't ghost people, but I'll just like slowly
Oh,
fade
man.
away. Like, I'm not just like ghosting people or anything, but I don't have a problem with cutting people off. I used to, because I used to be like, oh, everybody's got to like me. Like, why don't you like me? Now I'm like, whatever. Like, I don't care if you don't like me. Like, I'm doing what's best for me at this point. So, like, to answer your question,
Period.
I don't have a problem with leaving those spaces and going where people celebrate me and have love for me instead of trying to
Stop.
pull me down and like disrespect me, like make me feel bad about being my own self. Like, I don't have a problem leaving them alone.
I love that. I love that you own every part of you. And I love that, the thing is, me and Keish came across each other years ago. And I submitted to be a part of, get an interview when I was just, throwing my stuff out there, like, who gonna snag me first? And I want to say this was around 2016 because I had just left a very toxic relationship that I was in at that time. I'm healthier now. But one thing I would say is that every time that I did hit her up or asked her, like, hey, can you cover something for me? Even if it was like last minute, she instantly did it. She instantly came through. And those type of people, you don't know how to repay them back, but you try to pay them back, Y'all coming on a panel, I don't know how to pay y'all back, but I'm gonna try to pay you back, because people don't realize that people don't gotta do these things. We don't gotta come to these events. We don't gotta support nobody. We don't gotta do nothing. That's your life. But when you realize that people are actively in your corner, and she's all the way in LA and I'm all the way in Connecticut, you realize that I don't need to be shoulder to shoulder to be connected with you. We just on the same vibe. We're on the same energy, and I always thank her, and I always thank anyone that has ever interviewed me or share my stuff or whatever, because you don't have to. You don't really have to. And I wish that this generation do get that in their head, that life don't owe you shit. It don't owe you shit. And when you stop going through life with this attitude that something owes you something, you start to gain more. You start to understand more. Okay, I went through that because I needed to get where I need to get to. I got kicked out because they wanted me to be in the loft. I went through that negative relationship because they wanted me to get to a positive relationship. The inconveniences become the conveniences in life. And I think that's the most transparent moment you can have with yourself, is that whatever you're going through, go through it, experience it, digest it, but do not let that define who you are, or where you can go. Just because you're going through it. Okay, you're going through it, but guess what? You could shift that shit. I'm gonna take that energy and I'm gonna work 10 times harder now. All right, you beating my ass. All right, I'm gonna beat my own ass. I'm gonna get up. If I'm sleeping in too late, I'm gonna start getting up early. If I'm not writing enough, I'm gonna start writing more. If I'm not implementing myself in spaces and places to congratulate me and put me in different agricultures, then I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna start speaking up. I'm gonna go to panels. I'm going to start reading books. Like, you have the tools in you. And that's the main thing that I wanted to say with the principles of permission is that shit right here, you know, is all in here. And all we got to do is really look within to look without, you know. But again, I want y'all to have conversations. I want y'all to ask questions. Let's go.
Well, I got a
have a
question here.
little, go ahead.
I wanted to piggyback off of the question that you asked, and my answer was, and I mean, you just said it all. This is grounding work, right? You have to ground yourself and remind yourself what the setting is and what the reality is, what the dangers are, what the evils are. Because honestly, when you really get down to it, they're not dangers, they're not evils. Like, it's just existing in this world. It's just like we are fragile humans. Emotionally and physically. So you need to ground yourself before you go out and try to get what you need. Because once you realize you had an issue, you realize that you weren't really processing your environment well. So you've got to have a good basis first and a good foundation, and that's grounding work. That's exactly what you just talked about.
Yeah, that is important. Grounding yourself. Knowing yourself, realizing exactly where you fall short at. I mean, are you really falling short, or are you just lack information?
Yes.
You know, like if I don't know it, I'm gonna learn to know it. If I care enough, I will do the steps to learn it. You know, sometimes people want to skip everything and become Beyonce.
Yeah.
You know, did you know her journey? You know, like do y'all really know her journey? Like did you see where she started from? You know, before she even got to that pivotal moment in her life, work comes effortlessly. Are you gonna work it, or is it gonna work you?
Yeah, people like they start working and then they see all the work it takes and then they just stop because
Because they don't really want it.
You gotta have those you know, it's so funny, and I say this all the time. People sometimes have a difficult time having those difficult conversations with themselves about the things that they want to do and want to accomplish, and just look and focus on somebody else's journey. We spoke about this on the other stream. Like, people just get focused on what someone else has going on, and they lose their focus on what they have going on for themselves. And it's like, you need to have that conversation with you when we talk about traumas as well. The trauma that you're holding on to is that what is stopping you from doing what you want to do, and then you end up getting distracted by everyone else who doesn't have quote unquote those traumas that you can see and is being successful and having all these great things happen for them. But you got to have those conversations with yourself. Like, are you letting go of the traumas that are holding you back? Some people don't have those conversations. They just want to be like, oh, I'm going to have everything I want, because no. Focus on what's keeping you from getting your success, and then take it from there. If you don't have those conversations, you're never going to get there.
That's true. That's very true.
Y'all have taught me, like, this has actually been a lesson in my entire week. That's kind of what Spirit gives to me. They give me these themed weeks. It's like Sesame Street every week. And like, okay, this is what the lesson is this week. But what I'm learning this week, and what I learned mostly from hearing y'all talk, is that a lot of people always ask me, like, how do I get out of this deep depression? Like, a lot of people be really, like, severely in a place where they just, can't bring themselves out of it. And, they're always reaching and reaching, even if they're not, like, literally asking, they're always grasping, like, I'm trying to get out and I want to be where you are. And the truth, to be very honest, is you are not willing to acknowledge something about yourself.
Come on.
There is something about you that you need to acknowledge. Once you acknowledge that, and I think, Seven, you have said this like so many times today, like once you own who you were and who you are, that's when you start to come out of the stuff. That's when you start to feel things. You're like, oh, I can hang with these people. I can do what these people do. You got to acknowledge.
Right, and they don't affect you up here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, I agree. I think a lot of people don't understand that when you are good with you, you're good with you. And when you around people and spaces and cultures, they don't even bother you. That shit that I used to cry, but I don't cry about no more. I don't have no value in it no more, so it don't affect me. And a lot of people will try to bring you back to that space where it affected you. And I'm like, girl, keep trying. You done? Like, you know, is it done yet? Are you done with your antics, your run-ons? And I would say this, even navigating myself through the entertainment industry and making what I thought was real connections with individuals and realizing that those people were secretly plotting and trying to remove me from opportunities and things and stuff like that. You realize that a lot of things that people do only reflects them, you know, and what they lack. And there's people that look up to you and they want to be you. They want to live like you, talk like you, breathe like you, whatever the situation is. Okay. And the thing is, honey child, you can never be me because it's until I have children. It's only one of this.
Come on. God knew what he was doing. Now,
So
right.
let's talk about like being in the entertainment industry and how it affects your mental health.
Wait, so say one more time.
Let's talk about the entertainment industry and how it affects your mental health, like dealing with the fake personalities and like the opportunists and like all of that.
Anyone go first. Let me get some wine.
I have to say this because it kind of behooves me sometimes that I have people like, you know, anybody that knows me knows that like I feel like I don't even really do the gender thing or whatever the case may be. Like I just really I do what I want to do. Like the music festival that I performed at in Philadelphia called Independence Day, you know, was my first major performance, my first live performance in over a year. And you know, I had people questioning, you know, my looks for the day. And they were like, yo, are you really gonna wear makeup? And I'm like, why the fuck would I not? They're like, oh, well, you know, people are gonna say, people have been talking about me my entire life. Okay, I don't care, and I've never cared. And so it's always funny to me when someone comes to me with unsolicited advice, like, you probably shouldn't do that. You should probably mind your goddamn business because I ain't asked you nothing. I ain't asked you shit. I didn't ask you that. You know, and for me, it's like, but one thing I will say though, I think it's all a balancing act because I feel like with the entertainment industry, you know, you do want to give yourself to your audience so that they know you on a personal level, so that they always tap in, so that they always come back. But I feel like at a certain point, you have to pull back and keep parts for yourself as well. But I do feel like that there's such a lack of authenticity in the entertainment business, especially, you know, really kind of like at all levels of it, because even within the indie route, you know, I know so many people, and Seven knows, like a while back, Seven had sent me a couple verses one time. I was like, oh, what do you think about this? And I was honest. I was like, you know what, Seven, I like this, but that second one, I kind of don't really like that one too much. And so I was like, well, this is my favorite version, so I'm gonna still press forward with it. And the track still did well, but you know, there are people that will not be honest with you. Like, you know, and I've also done things where Seven's been like, okay, well, you know, that was cute. Go ahead, you know, workshop that and do it again. But I would rather, you know, be able to have that conversation with a person
and it not be negative.
And then not be negative, than to be sitting in a room somewhere and somebody bring up, oh, well, you know, I saw Seven was out at such and such, blah, 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 and they had this expensive lunch and all of this other stuff. But then, you know, so-and-so knows that they rent not paid. And it's like, why do we have to pretend and go out for expensive lunches and do the chitty chat and do all of that fake stuff? Like, and it happens a lot. Like, I feel like the only thing I'm gonna say to other people is some shit that I would say to Seven directly. So if I sit here and I'm saying to Seven, oh, that second verse is whack. If I'm talking to somebody else, I'm like, yeah, you know, I told Seven and that second verse is whack. I'm not gonna say nothing to somebody else that I'm not gonna say to Seven, because if Seven hear it out the street, Seven not going to be like, oh, well, Zari didn't say it to me first. Zari, you know, we had a conversation about it. A mutual friend is out there spreading it. But it's never going to be no drama, no extra shit. And that's a problem that I don't like. I'm from the old Brooklyn.
Right.
I was born in Bed-Stuy, okay, off Madison, Monroe, Gates Avenue. If you running your mouth, I don't do all this talking shit. I'm not like these new people, and I have learned to, move away from the fighting. But I don't do all of this internet gangster shit. If you talking shit, okay, so where are you meeting me at? Where are we fighting at?
Right.
Go get your ass.
I don't even do that no more. I'm just gonna call the police.
No, yeah.
Not the police.
I might be still on the corner of police, but the fighting and stuff,
We grew out of it. Listen,
I'm
not an internet gangster. I'm not doing all of this catty back and forth chitty chat. Either we're gonna sit down and handle it like adults, or you make for gone. Like that's it. I'm not doing all of the extra stuff. So I feel like when you sit down and you talk to people, a lot of the times it's like, oh yeah, we love this person or we love that person. And then you go in the next room, they enter the room and the first thing they say is, oh, F this person and forget about that person. I feel like you got to be on your mental prowess and you got to say something because these people will drain you for everything that you got, your emotional wealth, your mental wealth, your spiritual wealth, your social wealth. Like people want what you have, and I learned, and I have to bring it up because it's my truth. And my last relationship, I was dealing with a nigga who, if we went outside and too many people were enjoying my company, oh, I'm sick. I don't feel good. I'm, me being a dumbass. I'm like, all right, babe, let's go home. We get in the house now. This nigga's like, yeah, you want to play games? You supposed to be sick? Go lay your ass down. But it's really just. You want my energy for yourself. You want my time for yourself. You want what I have to offer for yourself, and you don't want to share that with nobody, not even me. I can't even give shit to myself, because you want all of me, and it don't work that way. So, my short answer.
You know what that was? That was a huge insecurity on his part.
Very much
very insecure. Like, and you know what?
Very blocky, like.
Yeah, like. You want to get sick when I'm having a good time and I'm enjoying people who enjoy me and we're having a good time and now all of a sudden you're sick and now when we get home everything is all good. No, that's a huge insecurity and he didn't want to call it. And
that's the tea, child. But I learned through that though. You learn to see things for what they are, and when it comes to dealing with people in the entertainment business, I learned. You know what? This is not for me. You are not for me. That is not for me, and you keep it pushing.
Yeah.
So that was my short end of a long story because I'll be waiting. Also, by the way, let me go grab this Wendy's. I'll be right back, y'all.
No, that's right. Oh.
I was gonna say before I got into the industry, I read this book, or I was on Twitter or something.
Wendy's. I would say.
Go ahead, Keith.
Oh yeah, I read that.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Love.
Somebody said something like for the entertainment industry, like these people are not your friends. Like, don't get it twisted. Don't get it messed up. Like they will act like
you as hot as your song.
You're really not.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just took that in there with me when I entered the entertainment industry. And people are cool and all, but you never really know what people's true motives are. Yeah. So I like to just feel their energy. Like,
let me tell you something.
I'm about to say, I think that's why a lot of people keep their circle really, really small as well. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like people who are in the entertainment business, their friends that were their friends growing up, they would never lose them because the people in the industry really, again, like you just said, really aren't your friends. So you bring the people with you who have been riding for you from the very beginning and who will continue to ride for you. You look at them as family. You bring them with you. You don't bring, I became friends, let's say, with Terrence Howard. Oh, but Terrence Howard is acting a little shady towards me. Well, I ain't need to be friends with Terrence Howard. Anyway, I'm going to bring, let's say, Keish. I'm bringing Keish with me. And I'm riding with Keish. I'm not really riding with Terrence. You know what I mean? Just because Terrence is being fake and I'm seeing Terrence for who he is. You know what I mean? That's some of the things people like to ignore when it comes to being around certain people and certain energies. Like, baby, don't ignore that. That's real. You feel that vibe, you feel that little fakeness, that little energy that's a little off, something that was one way and then all of a sudden it gets and something completely different. That's real. Don't ignore that. That's the shit that'll get you fucked up and then have your mental all fucked up as well.
Yeah, I noticed people they'll have the people that are sane, that aren't all stressed out and their mental health all out of whack. They have their friends, their regular friends, and then their industry people that they know. and they don't really blend the two. That's what I noticed.
Yep. Mm-mm-mm.
There's a lot of people that I
Well,
would say
a
this.
huge part about what I
a few-
do.
Oh, go ahead, love. I'm sorry.
I was saying about what I do. I'm going to shift the conversation just a little bit. Again, I'm the creator of Fierce Entertainment Media Network. And essentially what my web property does is we only focus on Black, trans, emerging independent artists. So I'm spotlighting artists, I'm spotlighting musicians, even visual artists, but they're all people at a very emerging grassroots level who have not been paid by corporate, anything. Because a big part of what's wrong with entertainment is celebritism, in my humble opinion.
Yeah.
So I think that the arts and the entertainment, in order for us down here to make it work for us, we have to spotlight each other first before we celebrate everybody else. Like, dang, yo, best friend right here got an album just came out. You stream Rihanna more than you stream your friend album.
Yo.
Like, what's going on?
Yo. That is, what's so funny? That is the main reason why I created Indie Artist Spotlight. I created it just for the queer community to have a platform for their music to be heard. A lot of them started at, I want to say in a respectful way, started at the rock bottom, and I lifted them up on my platform and promoted their music. And to this day, anytime they drop something new, I am always retweeting, and I'm always telling people, get into this shit. These indie artists are fire. Come on. They need it. Oh my God. Wow, you definitely just struck a nerve right there. I was like, oh my God, yes, that's exactly why I do.
I didn't know that you did that work. I'm definitely gonna check that out. You have to send me those links.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I highlight emerging talent on my platform too. So we're all in this
space. This is the perfect panel.
Sev7en is come on, Mona.
Come on, Mona. I'm gonna need my check though, Mona. I'm gonna need my check.
I'm not playing. Well, go ahead, Keish.
Yeah, I just wanted to fill the void that I saw. Because, you have like the top tier publications that just publish whoever is hot. And, the underdogs need help too. Like, they're dope. Nobody's talking about them. Like, I like to show love to people. Like,
let's talk about how the underdogs be sometimes better than the main ones.
I was just thinking it. Most of the independent emerging folks who got 5 subscribers a month, they making better.
Come on. Like what?
Let's talk about it.
Like they're your rapper's favorite rapper.
And they be stealing their flow and stuff and coming in like it's theirs. Come on.
That's the issue. That's what I was definitely going to take us to. They be stealing from us. Yes, it is important for us to create these spaces, these new spaces, but we also have to protect ourselves because those people at the top, they're definitely watching. They definitely have. They don't just have one Twitter account. They got whole teams who do nothing but search Twitter accounts all day.
Which is so easy.
People be like, "Oh, so and so don't be sitting on the internet all day." That's because they got about 5 people on the team to do it for them.
Somebody else is sending out that tweet for them. Little do you know.
I used to intern at this popular clothing brand, and they had people that'll go in their competitors' stores and spy on them. So I know what you said is true.
This world is crazy.
Right. It is. They would do all types of shit.
That's crazy.
I've even had
shit you want.
Yeah, I had a lot of large publications steal my ideas like all the time. Even with my old blog, West Coast they'll take it and run with it, and then everybody will think, "Oh, they're doing that new dope thing," and then you're just sitting there like, "What?"
Like you already had it.
That's why I'm like, we should put Sev7en was saying, collectively join forces, so we're larger and have power and stuff like that won't happen.
Probably out right there. But I'm gonna follow. Yeah, let me get in. I gotta get in because I'm like, I cannot believe that people like. Because Seven, you know how long I've been doing indie artist spotlight, and I'm just like,
Right.
just getting into spaces with people who are doing the same exact thing, or like reaching out to trans and just bringing everyone full circle is like
Collectively together, right?
Yeah, I'm like gagging right now. Like,
I mean that's kind of the reason why I
Yeah.
wanted that's the reason why I selected the people I selected for this
Yeah.
movie, because I was like, I realized that everyone has a demographic that they create and that they bring to opulence, so it's all about how y'all shift and shake with each other, Hype Off of Life, indie artists, Fierce Femme, like all these different platforms that y'all have, that y'all can create some dope ass playlists and partnerships with each other and so on. You can just build from here. So I wanted to intentionally have everyone come together because I know at some point y'all can all create generational wealth with each other. Y'all can all find a different way to support each other.
Absolutely.
Whether it's a simple retweet,
And that doesn't necessarily have to be money.
Right. Whether it's a simple retweet, whether retweeting something is giving publicity, is putting it in
So
someone
rapport
else's.
in general. Can we just have good rapport with one another? Can we just be there for each other?
Like what you need to share, what time you need to share it, whatever the situation is, those type of things. I know those are things that are not so promoted because they feel as though that Black and brown people are always in this tussle with each other, but I'm like, you seeing surface.
There's some Black people that are riding for each other very, very hard
here
and wanting to flourish.
In
Boom.
these spaces,
Yeah.
Right, in these spaces, and I feel like that we gotta reinvent what we look like and what we sound like, and what we're doing in these different agricultures, because I feel like they got us fucked up.
Yeah, they do.
All the way.
But they do, and that's how I was like, I counsel a lot of I have spiritual clients that I see on a daily basis and stuff like that, and I counsel a lot of Black women, and I'm always happy to help, whether man or woman. But when it's a woman, I'm extremely happy because I get to see my mom again. I get to see, we get to see our moms again in their earliest forms, where they're trying to navigate through this world, where they're trying to get their mind together so they can get together, and I feel like a lot of people don't know a lot of things. So when you lack information, you cannot really go into that space because you don't know how to navigate it. Information is very valuable. If you know that everything is obtainable, that's the energy you're gonna have. If you feel like everything gotta come from a skin color, then you're gonna always walk around with that energy. You're always gonna feel like, well, they ain't gonna pick me because I'm not white, or whatever the situation is. So it's like you gotta learn how to count yourself in more. You gotta learn how to really say, you know what, I'm that bitch, I'm that, whatever the situation is. Like, toot your own horn. Realize that there's nothing really stopping you but you. There's nothing really stopping you but you. All right, Zari, definitely enjoy your night, because you're here to have some food and stuff. But there's nothing really stopping you but you. But I feel like if we don't really start owning in on that energy, we are always going to feel like we're left out, or we're, limits are in our brain, and it's like we gotta remove that shit. That's not even ours. Slavery is not the pivotal point of our history. Stop acting like it's your whole history. And look where we came from, Egyptian and all these different things, and how magical we are as individuals. Stop pinpointing trauma as that's my history. No, it's not. It's a part of it, but it's not it.
But to be very honest, I don't want to cut you off, but to be very honest, only because it is my work and it is what I do, I want to let all of y'all know, and all of you watching, that baby, if you're looking for a Disney fairy tale, there is some magic that was happening at the plantation on the cotton field.
Oh, of course.
There was magic happening. Those people were creating. They were giving.
Listen, how you think those the slave masters was dying from natural causes?
Come on.
I talk about it in my book.
Poison,
Love Moon's Conversation with My Ancestors.
Seduction.
Right. I talk about it in my book, and I talk about how we are such magical beings that we learned how to be these spiritual beings, even though it was so deemed for us not to be. Everything that we felt that we are, no, that's not right. That's not right. No, you're not right. I'm good and what I am and what I present. My melanin is good. I don't need you to get in my brain and make me feel like I gotta be white in order to be successful, or I gotta be white in order to be considered intelligent and so on. I'm very intelligent. I articulate my words very well. You know, I don't need that cosign from nobody. And I think once we do get out of that space of needing that cosign from our white counterparts and those that do act like that we need it, we could move and shake better. You know, I want everyone to definitely win, but you gotta want to win first. You know,
Yeah.
you gotta want it first.
Collectively.
Collectively.
You definitely have to want it. Definitely.
I was saying that reminds me of this book I read. It's called Brainwashed. Have you guys heard of it?
Mm-mm.
Well, I did. Me and my partner just finished a book called "Program or Be Programmed" by Douglas Washkoff. That's it's about the digital age and how things program us every day and we don't know it. That's a really good book to read as well. You know, we got to be informed in the age of Aquarius. You know.
Yeah. No,
This
for real.
it was talking about how like the media, everything has programmed Black people to feel that we're inferior. So that's what reminded me about what you were talking about. And also how like for my platform, like I want my media platform to uplift people, not
Come
to
on.
like put them down, like to be like
Right.
gossipy all the time. Because the media does play a huge part in how people feel about themselves and view their race and culture. So I just wanted to be like, put people on. I don't really publish stuff
Which you
that's
are.
neutral.
You're doing an amazing job. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Thank you. I don't post like all that crazy stuff like, oh, I got the stick on me, I got the chopper and like flipping packs and stuff. I like to publish stuff that's like, like
What is wrong with people?
we're not saying it's something with that, but it's all about where they're coming from. Because I could tell, like,
Right.
if you're telling part of your story, that's cool. But if you're just doing it for clout, I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna publish that because that's just feeding into that like media brainwashing stuff. So it's just
Wow.
about what you were saying.
I agree. I think there's beauty in first of all, there's beauty in the ghetto. You know, there's beauty in the hood. Because when you look at those runways, they are mimicking what they see in our areas, in our cultures.
I thought about that.
Okay, so
I seen a girl today.
Right.
So I was like, "Oh, sis."
Right.
Go.
Okay, so if they're mimicking us, that means we are doing something of opulence.
Yes.
We're doing something of enriching. We are stepping up that vernacular. We are opening spaces and places for us to exist in different agricultures and all different types of shit. If we're not doing those things, baby, you won't have a do-rag on that runway.
Yes. Talk about Dapper Dan.
The power is in your community. It's not outside your community, honey. The power is within you. And when we realize that we are the most mocked individuals, our culture is always mocked. It's never okay for us to do it, but for someone else to do it, And it's like, we got to get out of that. It's like, listen, we trendsetters, born trendsetters. Everything we do, the ass, the tits, the even down to trans women and stuff like that with the makeup. Every woman, the cisgender woman is now having the look, the over exaggerated makeup and all that stuff like that. Everyone is having the Maya Scott look. Everyone, the inches, everything. Like we gotta understand where our power is at, and our power is really in the things we do naturally. Like, oh girl, I just painted my nails. Is that a trend now? Oh, I didn't know. Like it's that simple. It's that simple. We gotta really realize where our power lies, and it lies in the things that we do without even thinking that we're doing it. You see us with a do-rag.
One way that I do that.
Go ahead.
One way that I do that is, if I can plug something that I'm doing right now, I've coined No Celeb September. So
Right.
for the month of September, my mutuals and myself and everyone who follows my platform, we will not be engaging with celebrities or corporate businesses for the month of September. And the reason why we're doing that is because what celebrities do and what celebrities are is they level the terrain of us normal folk, of normal folk. Even if when I get to a point to where I'm no longer struggling financially, this is still the work that I want to do because I still want to help impoverished people. And most people that are in poverty are the people who are creating some really outstanding and prolific work. So I want to continue to give them a platform. But what celebrities do is they flatten out that terrain. That hood, just like what we just said, the ghetto is a very magical place. People need to understand that. It is a very there's castles, there's hills, there's all type of terrain. And what celebrities do is they flatten that out, because what they do is they have more resources, but they're extracting the images and the aesthetics from the hood who don't have the resources to protect themselves. So if the celebrities want to level us out, we're going to level them out. When you come to my function, we're not talking about celebrities because we got 20 artists here who need to be talked about.
Yes, that's creating generational wealth. That's putting your friend on. And it's I think sometimes we over exaggerate the conversations about celebrities, and we don't realize that the person right next to us is doing the same thing, and they might be doing it better than your fave. They might be doing it better than people that's being idolized right about now. I think when we realize the power in that, and how collectively we can come together and really push our people, you see people do numbers. You win, I win. Logistics. We don't have no time for no crabs in a barrel. Your time to shine is coming, honey. Just get out into the light so you can shine. It's like put yourself in opportunity. That's another thing too. People have all these dreams and things and stuff like that. Okay, let's get to it. So that that's
the second part. Like, get your ass over here. I just got you this.
Let's go.
Right.
Let's go.
Right. Let's get to it, because in order for us to really support you, you gotta give me something to support. I can't keep supporting these theories. I need evidence. I need physical things. I need you to go in the lab and don't come out until you got something to give us. Drag me, rip my edges. Let me have it. Let me press pause. I'm like, bitch, and then press play again, because I want to feel them edges rip again one more time. Give your friends content. Friends that want support. Give your friends something to support. Stop talking about your album, go make the album. Stop talking about the shop, go make the shop. Stop talking about the business, go make the business. That's what I'm talking about. Let's shift the mind. Let's shift to it. Let's get to it. Because the more and the longer you talk about something, the more, and those people that are listening, it becomes, all right. Okay. Stop talking. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let's create. Let's do what we got to do. And if you are struggling to create, or you want to know how to create, hit somebody up. Ask them, where could they start? Where can they go? Do you know a studio? Do you know someone? Let's really motivate and move with each other.
Listen, that is my game on social media. Right. I get up every day and I get on social media and I tell my people, y'all, I'm making logos for free. What more do you want? The logo is free. I will spend the time and I will give you the logo for free. What more do you want? But you keep complaining that ain't nobody helping you. I just said, I will handle all of your marketing for free.
I hate the fact that people turn down free stuff. Like, girl, complaining about certain things.
I don't turn down nothing free.
Yep.
Right. No, go ahead.
No, I was saying that, people turn down the free shit, and especially when it's coming from people who are offering it to you. You know what I mean? There's somebody that's going to be out here that's going to charge you. Let's say someone wants to create a logo. There's somebody out there that's going to charge you $1,000 to create that logo. When someone would be like, "Oh no, I got you for free," and you turn that down, you ain't even seeing what they're offering. You're not even going to see that, but you want to go pay for the $1,000.
People don't be ready, and then they also think that they look at celebrities and they say, well, I know that this person pays so and so for that, so I think that I have to pay so and so for that.
You
And
don't.
that's not really the case. That's not the case.
There's some people just have genuine hearts that just want to help you.
Yeah.
That's true.
And don't need $1 or a cent attached to it, you know, or invoice sent to you. Like, oh yeah, but no, hey baby, I just think that I have something that you need, and I want to help you because I think I believe in you, and I think that what you have is great. So here you go.
Right, and that right there is community fucking work, you know, and helping. And there's nothing wrong with paying your community as well because they gotta keep their bills on. You know, they gotta keep their lights on as well. Yeah, no, it's not wrong with hitting that cash every now and then. It's not wrong with supporting each other. It's not wrong with none of those things because I feel like those things are phenomenal. And if it does happen, so be it. If my knowledge and my experience with that particular thing was I just got some experience out of it, that's a payment right there. You know, we gotta realize what payments really are and what wealth really is. Wealth is not just all about the green and the credit cards and all that stuff like that. Wealth is when you can take something, you can multiply it. Wealth is knowledge. If I know better, I can do better. You know, those are key things, and I think people forget that wealth comes in so many variations. It's not always about paying somebody. Sometimes it's by someone giving you a word for the day or writing. You know, it's like it's so many things that you can take from somebody. I'm taking things from everybody right now. I'm taking transparency. I'm taking a space and place to talk and have conversation. I'm being fed right about now. You know, I don't need to worry about someone giving me something. I'm receiving right about now. And I think when we get ourselves in that mindset, we understand that profit is everywhere. If you choose to see the profit, come on, you gotta see it. You gotta visualize it. You gotta understand it. You gotta taste it. You gotta digest it. You gotta understand that if I don't understand something and someone tells me a better understanding, the profit's right there. I got someone to shift my perspective. You know, if I hypothetically didn't believe in myself and then someone else believed in me, I got profit because, now I can ask myself, what are they believing in? Now I'm diving deep. You know, now I'm starting that inner work. Okay, I got something here, but what is it? You know, I've read a profound book by RuPaul. It was his first book. And he went through experience of go-go dancing and moving to New York and sleeping bench to bench and being homeless. And, you know, he went through the whole 119. But one thing I took away from that book, and one thing he has said in many interviews, and I took it with myself, is that when life try to make you bitter, don't be bitter. You know, there is still a sunshine happening somewhere coming to your forecast soon. And the longer you hold that bitterness in because you feel like you missed that opportunity, you don't miss anything that's not really for you. You know? You know, and when you hold on to that bitterness, that is the thing that drives you to miss opportunity. Because now you're mad. Because now you got an opportunity to really shine. And you're like, nope, I'm not going because they did it before to me. No, bitch, go. Shine. Work. Twerk. Do what the fuck you got to do. You know, because you don't know that moment is your moment if you make it your moment. And he is really profound. And I really gravitated to him and Jennifer Lewis and Lisa Nichols and so many people that they went through it. They understood what the fuck we went through and what we go through and what we experience. And guess what? Guess where they at now? Guess what they doing now? They went and did the work. They went through their lows to understand the highs. You know, and I feel like if we truly want to transform and be in a transformative state, we got to learn how to just allow those old versions of us to die. Just let it die. Stop holding on to it. Because the best thing that is in front of you is the new you. Like, hey, you ready for me? You're not gonna hold on to the past no more?
Okay.
You gonna let go of that trauma? Are you gonna let it go? Like, let it go. And when I say let it go, I don't mean let it go and throw it. Let it go by disciplining yourself on the value of it. Is it really worth still holding on to right about now? Is it doing anything for you? While you keep going into that deep thought about that experience, what is it doing for you? Is it making you be more proactive? Is it making you be more productive? What is it doing? And if it's still affecting you, that means you got to deal with it. There's no yellow brick road. I'm not damn Dorothy. Like, you know, that shit is metaphoric shit for going into your problems and handling your problems and coming out of yourself. Dorothy was having an inner conversation with herself throughout her whole journey in The Wiz. You know, those people, those animations were just people of her imagination. Those were her. You lack courage. You lack having a heart. You lack thinking for yourself. You got to the grand part. You found out that The Wiz ain't the fucking Wiz. Like, it's an illusion. That's the shit that you gotta understand is that it ain't nothing shaking unless you're shaking with it. You know, you gotta really learn how to be rhythmatic with yourself. And if I'm really gonna transform myself in this moment, I gotta understand what's the very thing that upsets me every day. And why am I still allowing it to upset me? You know? 20 years in the game, 10 years in the game, you know? It's like, why you keep holding on to it? Let it go. If it don't mean nothing to you, why you didn't let it go? Because it means something to you. Because it's telling you, let's deal with this trauma. So let's deal with it. Let's go. What up? You know, let's get to it.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Sure.
Let's fight. If you're going to beat my ass, at least I'm going to go out with dignity. You know, that's just how I feel about it. But I definitely... So we definitely comes to a very good wrap soon. I definitely open invitations to all y'all to come back on my panel very, very soon. I'll be having another one where we'll discuss. I want to make it a monthly thing, but I feel like this month I'm going to do 2 of these just because I like sharing space. I like sharing energy, and I do have a new book to promote. Everyone's selling something. Did you buy it? And that will be available for pre-order very soon. So we definitely going to have another book club and an after show. And I definitely have open invitation to come and let's speak and let's talk. And you know, we want to do partnerships. Let's do partnerships. Like let's collectively come together. Because the most important thing is a community to actually become a community. You know, and stop faking it. You know, we don't got to talk to each other every day to know that we got mutual love. I got mutual understandings. I see you, Stevie. I see you, Juju. I see you, Keish. I see what y'all do every day. And if I can support something and share it or whatever the situation is, let me do it. You know, whatever the situation is, let me do it. Let me be a part of it. You know, if there's something that you want me to post or share and stuff like that on my stories, let me do it. Send it to me. Tag me in it. You know, like let's really be a community and stop being on that. I mean, I seen it the other day.
It's not affecting me.
I seen it the other day. But do y'all have any more last remarks, or do y'all have any more questions about the books and stuff like that? Like, you know, you got any more questions for me? Let's, you know, or questions for each other. Let's have that out, and then soon we'll be closing out with everything. But first, before y'all do that, let me play a nice old commercial just for our sponsorship with hypoforlife.com.
Dirty Sprite, I be sipping on this limelight. Don't no clock turn left, get your time right.
And we back. But I definitely wanted to just show love and thank you so much, Keisha, for being a part of this production, and thank you, Juju, for being a part of it. Thank you, Stevie, for being a part of it. But yeah, like I said, last minute questions.
Anytime. Thank you for having me.
Yes, I have a question.
You're more than welcome.
I have a question for everybody. So you
Okay.
talked about like transforming and breaking down the old versions of ourselves for the new version. So what would you call this chapter of your life? That
Ooh,
goes
love
for
this
everybody.
question.
Mhm. This does sound like a hemp podcast question.
It definitely was a him podcast question. That's why I love it.
What do I
Oh,
call this part of my life? Um, I think last year at this time I had labeled it Age of Aquarius because it was very much that, and it is very much still that.
right.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is. Is Age of Aquarius is kind of like this witchy feel, very transformational, very like Scorpio energy. But like I said, I'm still in my Saturn return. So it's just about transformation, and I don't know yet if this is something that I'm supposed to come out of or just keep this energy. But this is where I'm at now.
I love that. I love that. I love that. And I think whatever you're going through right now, whatever you are channeling in, whatever you feel when you wake up, you are gonna do beyond numbers with it. You're gonna beat the shit out of it.
Thank you.
And I feel like when you do have those days that you don't feel like you know yourself or you don't know
Mhm.
when the next whatever's coming, just know
Yeah,
that you are
that's
of
real.
profit and profit always follows you, honey. You know,
Yeah,
prosperity is always living in you, no matter what.
thank
And the
you.
work that you do with your platform has governed in that good karma in your life, you
Thank you
know.
so much for saying that.
So
Thank you.
I want you to know that you are always going to eat fiercely.
Come on. Yeah.
All
Thank
right.
you.
I guess I could go. The chapter, what I call the chapter in my life right now,
Hmm.
bitch, you got it together. But no, but um, I would call
Okay.
I will call this chapter "Everything is Obtainable" because I realized when I didn't allow fear or any other negative feeling to come into me or come into my mindset, and I just went and did it. And I proved to myself that I could do it. And I'm looking at the revenue, I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at that. I'm like, oh shit, everything is obtainable. I was believing in the old program in my previous self, so I had to let him die when I moved here, so I could birth this person, so I could understand this person. And I like him. You know, he fills out. He's doing his thing. Um, and he shifted his mind, and that's why I want everyone that is purchasing books and stuff like that from me, from booksbyseven.com. When you do read these books and you do have those conversations with yourself whenever you're reading them, I wrote them with the intention that after you're done with the content, you become the content. You now want to understand, what am I doing wrong? What am I not doing enough? Where do I lack with my mom, my dad? Where's my healthy relationships at? Why am I letting toxic relationships govern my life? And so on and so forth. So I feel like in a nutshell, everything is obtainable because that is the truth and the recipe to life. And when you live by that truth, it will show you exactly what it is. And you can do it too. You can do it too. You can do it too. Everybody can fucking do it. You just gotta believe it first.
Come on.
All right,
Yeah.
next, Stevie.
Um, so I'm gonna call this chapter of my life, "Are you ready for the next chapter?" Um, because there again, I think I mentioned this in the stream that there are certain conversations that you have to have to yourself to get yourself to the next level.
Right.
Um, and those conversations I'm having with myself right now to
Mm.
level up, get to the next level, make sure that I'm getting everything in order to be comfortable
Right.
mentally, physically,
Right.
financially.
Come on,
Just
grounding
making
work.
sure. Hey, okay,
Financially.
making sure shit is in order. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Sometimes we get off track and get distracted by a lot of things. But I think
Right.
my focus is making sure that I have everything in order and making sure that I'm ready for the next level. So yeah,
And guess what? I definitely validate you in this experience, and I
thank
want you to
you,
know that you are ready. When
thank
you
you.
ready, it's ready for you.
Come on, oh,
You
appreciate
know, and
that.
you got everything inside of you to change and transform your life. You know,
Thank you.
so I know that sometimes we can beat ourselves up, and we can be our worst freaking critics.
Come on.
But you gotta know that love lives within you. You got a divine love. You got a passion. You got something that gets you up in the morning. Hold on to it. You know, harvest it, reproduce it, and know that even what you do with everyone, what y'all do with y'all platforms, y'all are creating good karma for yourself because y'all are changing someone's life.
That's right.
You know, y'all giving someone some validation, a spotlight, and that's important. That's the fucking it. That's important. Okay? So I validate you and much love, and I know you're gonna do amazing fucking things because you're doing it right now, Steve.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You are. What about you, Keish? What is this chapter called?
Okay.
Hype of a life.
But I know my chapter is he did that because I've been on my journey for like 10, 15 years. And I'm starting to reap all the benefits. Like the seeds are growing, like everything's coming to harvest. So I'm like, yeah, like let me take all this in. And you know, people are starting to recognize all the hard work and all the acknowledgments coming in. And I'm just reaping all the benefits. So it would be she did that. Like everything you guys didn't see before, you're gonna see it now.
Yeah. Yeah, you did that, and like I said, I humbly thank each and every one of you for being here. At one point, sharing your space, your platforms with me. I've interviewed with all of y'all at one point, and I realized that you didn't have to do it, but thank you for doing it. You know, because again, those things are not just out here. People don't have to interview you. People don't have to put you on their platform. People don't have to write up on you, interview, whatever the situation is. And I realize when we do think about those things and what it means, that means that at some point, someone was rooting for you probably a little bit more than what you were rooting for yourself. That's why they put you on the platform. You know, that's why they put you in conversation. That's why they put you on playlists and so on and so forth. So I salute and commend all of you for doing y'all community work, and know that good karma is always going to follow you because y'all gave someone somewhere a place to say, hey, I'm an artist. Look, Mom, I'm on this. Look, Dad, whatever. You know, you gave someone something to look forward to because a lot of people don't got nothing to look forward to. I learned this. I look at it every day. You don't got nothing to look
You ain't
to.
say nothing about crying on tonight's show or nothing like that. So.
You know, I'm just being, I'm being transparent with y'all. And I love, I love that what y'all do. And that's why, like I said, I had a conversation with Keish yesterday, and I said, I truly picked everyone based on what they really bring to the table. You know, no one was here by coincidence. Everyone was selected with a purpose.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, everyone was selected with a purpose because y'all all have a purpose. You know, y'all all have something that gravitates to the universe, and y'all all doing y'all own work. And I salute y'all, and I commend y'all, and I ask y'all to keep going, and whatever I need to do to support and be a part of, always hit me up and ask me whatever the situation is, and I'll support it. I have no problem. I'm good. I'm good. I'm not even in a place of anything. I don't feel shit, because I killed that nigga. People that got issues with me, it's with him. He's not even here no more. He don't even live in this parallel. So your issues with him, not with this person, and that's that. But in raps, I definitely want to thank y'all again for joining me. I open invitation to y'all for the next upcoming live streams that I'll be doing later on this month. Well, probably like in a week or so, whatever. Once I have things set with my team, I'll let y'all know. But y'all have open invitation to come back and join me and sit with me and talk with me. I greatly appreciate y'all vulnerability, your humbleness, your appreciation, and y'all just being on time and being here and sharing and supporting. I truly believe and humbly accept that. And it's not the wine talking, it's me. But I do. I really, really do. I don't want to hold up too much of your time because y'all have given me a few hours of your life that I greatly appreciate. But definitely, if y'all have any last remarks, anything you want to let people shout out y'all platforms where people could find y'all, and then I'll play a little last commercial, and then we out of here.
Yeah, y'all can follow me at Juju Blackman on Twitter, JujuBlaqueman, or you can follow me on Fierce ENT Media. I think that's Fierce Entertainment Media handle. I don't know. You can search Fierce Entertainment Media Network on Twitter, or go to fierceentertainmentmedia.net. Check out the website.
Love it. Next person.
Well, you guys could follow me on Instagram at lowkey in Los Angeles. And my platform's Instagram is Hype Off Life. Our website's hypeofflife.com. And across all social medias, it's Hype Off Life everything.
And you guys can follow me at Stevie Derrick on all platforms. I also am a part of Him Podcast. You can follow Him Podcast at the Him Podcast on all platforms as well. And search on Twitter the hashtag Indie Artist Spotlight. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that's going to come up because I have taken it and put it underneath my wing and promoting it down to the ground, and all the artists that I had the opportunity to work with and the ones that are coming in the future. So yeah, make sure you check that out.
I love it. I love it so much. Thank y'all all for being here. It's your boy, Sev7en Taylor. I'm super excited to share space with everyone and to send out that divine love and energy that we need at these current times in our life. When you can and you want to, and you should, go to my website, booksby7.com, get you a bundle. You get the Principles of Permission, and you get Blood Moon's Conversation with My Ancestors. I also have a journal line now as well, and many other things coming. But I'm all about just shifting the mental, shifting our reality, shifting our parallels, shifting what we thought about yesterday into today. And I feel like the alchemy of who we are is something that we should always hold on to, because you never know when your life could go into the direction that you wanted to. So hold on, even when the beating feels rough and it feels like something is not working, it really is working. It just gotta take a little time to manifest in this reality. So hold on to the dreams and passions that you have, because it shall come forth into our reality. I want to thank everyone from all over. I see all types of comments on this show and last show as well. I will chime in with them as soon as I can. But thank y'all humbly so much for just being here with me. And everyone's selling something. Did you buy it? My newest novel, my sixth novel, will be released this month. Pre-order links will be available very soon. I break down all the illusions of life, love, marriage, etc. You name it, I broke it down. And it's my thesis, it's my shit, and I own it. And I definitely want y'all all tonight to just take in this moment and know that y'all were a part of history, and y'all were a part of a space and place where someone is gonna look at this interview and feel inspired by y'all. You know, you're being transformed in your transparency in these moments. So thank y'all for being here. All right. So I'm gonna play one more commercial and then we out of here.
Yo, Big 7, nigga, are you in it? Nigga, are you talking or you really gon' spin it? Niggas wanna see me on my tippy toes. Got a couple niggas that can copy those. Brooklyn Chanel's and all that. Got a couple niggas that call that.
Got a couple niggas that call that. Okay. But I will also say as well, Demon Time, the video is definitely coming. It's still in the editing processes and stuff like that, but you definitely will be getting that video soon. And I'm so excited to just share more content as much as I can. What I did as well before we go, I challenged myself to write 3 novels. And again, I'm on the 3rd novel. So what I want y'all to do when y'all leave this, challenge yourself to something and see how fast it becomes your reality. That's it. That's all. Thank y'all so much. I love y'all, and bye.
Later, y'all.